Hopefully this is working. So this is a video for the Poli-Sci 101 class about the paper. I've had way more questions about the paper than I have. Again, I think honestly part of it is just because people in the last 5 or 4 years have changed how they use Canvas. So this is the prompt. It's on Canvas. Make sure you're going through the modules. As with our homework assignments, do not use ChatGPT or AI. You have to earn your own grade. So that's very, very important. I really won't go through this quickly. There's a video on Canvas going through this. But yeah, I've had several questions. Someone asked me, what do you mean by your 28th Amendment? Do I pick one? So no, you're making your own 28th Amendment. That's what the prompt is. This is very important. So 6 to 8 pages, and you can just write it. I would recommend writing it in Section 1, Section 2, Section 3. And I'll leave it for all of you to kind of go through this quickly. But everything I'm about to tell you in a very brief video that I'm going to post to the announcements are things you need to talk about. And hopefully most of you watch this because it'll make your grade a lot better. First and foremost, these are not persuasive essays. So you're just trying to articulate a political problem. So in many ways, it's more of a philosophy paper. And I'll explain this in a second. It's also not a research paper. In fact, I recommend doing absolutely no research because people get bogged down in facts and figures, and that doesn't make an argument. If you're going to decide, which I recommend not doing, writing about abortion, and you're a pro-life or pro-choice person, you're going to throw a bunch of facts and figures at me as if that convinces me, and it doesn't. And so the research kind of goes along with the persuasive essay, so do not do it. So what do I mean by a philosophical paper? And again, another student came to talk to me about this. I'm going to try and use a different example, but they were asking me something along the lines of, could I write about X? I can't think of a counterexample because I'm going to try and make this quick. And I said, why is it a problem? So you have to identify effectively, like going back to our third homework, an issue that an amendment that you create could fix that's a national level problem. So I'll use guns. So why are guns at the federal level? Why would I make an amendment to get rid of guns or curtail how guns are obtained, right? Why aren't state laws sufficient? So when you are doing the first part of the paper and explaining the problem, this is what you're effectively doing. You need to answer this question. Why is state law or states' rights not sufficient to solve this problem, right? And so you might go, and you can use general information, right? There's mass shootings and kids get shot and this or that, but if you were doing fair research, which again, we're all biased, then you might find you could type this up for yourself, those of you who are anti-gun. Mass stabbings in Canada, mass stabbings in England, people getting acid thrown in their face. There are other ways to kill people that still happen. And so then is the problem with guns, the guns themselves or the people, if you're seeing mass stabbing attacks in countries like Canada, right? So this is what I mean, you have to continue to articulate it. And you have to explain, guns are different, they do more damage, or I want to rule out assault weapons or something along those lines, but you have to explain why. And research oftentimes will help, but oftentimes the research you're getting is coming from partisan figures. Take the issue of immigration. If you read a right-wing source like the Heritage Foundation, right now anyways, depending on the right-wing source, it might say illegal immigration is bad because it costs the American taxpayer dollars, right? If you find something from the left-wing right now anyways, like say the Brookings Institute, they're going to say the exact opposite. They're going to say undocumented migrants contribute greatly to the economy, and then you'll notice that the language changes, right? Because they're playing on your values and your intuitions and your moral compass, right? But you're still talking about the same issue. The second part of the paper then is what your amendment would be and then how it would solve this problem, all right? Anyone that's not a criminal can live in the United States and doesn't have to go through immigration services. That would require an amendment to the Constitution. The third part is what is the amendment process, how do amendments get adopted? And then Section 4 is the part for those of you trying to get A's, argue against your position. Again, doing research using ChatGPT is prohibited and it won't even help you. So I think, if you're going to use these things, which I know unfortunately many of us have on the homeworks, you could probably pass. But since I'm actually reading these assignments much more closely, it's going to affect your grade. So there's no reason to do it. You still have plenty of time to do this assignment. So hopefully that clarifies some things. So you are making your own hypothetical amendment. My final word would be if you can't think of anything, just change subtle things about the Constitution. Maybe you think that the Supreme Court should not be lifetime amendments. Maybe you think 16-year-olds should vote. Maybe you really like President Obama and wish he could have served another term. There's a litany of things. Maybe there should be term limits in the Congress. There's a lot of procedural things that you could change that might make really big differences in our American politics. So with that note, hopefully this loads quickly and I can post it quickly. Have a good day. If you have questions, please email me.